What's up guys, this is Daddy Furious and let's talk about the new commander that is coming into the game by next week along with 𝒟𝒶𝒹𝓎, which is indeed Justinian the First, and he's going to be obtainable from Mightiest Governor. So let's talk about his skills and everything he has to offer. Skill number 1, Light of Rome. You will get a single direct damage factor by 2500, which is actually not bad. It could have been better if it was AoE, but it's still decent because that is quite a high number. And the next part might be a bit confusing, but it's actually quite simple. So don't worry, it's all good, man. I'm gonna walk you guys through it. So this is about the surrounded effect, and first before we continue, you need to understand what being surrounded actually does and what it means. So surrounded is basically an effect that increases the damage that your target is taking, and the damage depends on how many marches your target is surrounded by. So for example, if your target is being surrounded by 2 marches, then the damage is increased by 2%. If it's surrounded by 3 marches, damage increased by 5%. If surrounded by 4 marches, damage is increased by 10%. And if the target is surrounded by 5 marches, then the damage is increased by 15%. And this 15% increased damage is the maximum of surround bonus. So now that you guys understand what surround means, then this becomes very simple. If your target is surrounded, which means minimum 2 or more marchers are attacking this target at the same time, it adds 3 surrounding troops when calculating the effects that factor in the number of troops surrounding the target, and does not increase the number of troops actually surrounding the target. So to put it all simple, it means when the target is surrounded, then the damage is increased by 15%. At least to my understanding. I don't know why they had to put it in such a confusing way, but that's just what it means. And the next part, if the target is not surrounded, then the number of surrounding troops will be set at 3 for effect calculations. So again, just like we talked about, it means the damage is increased by 5% when the target is not surrounded. And also, I forgot to say, when he launches a rally, then the target defense is reduced by 30%. Now, I'm just not sure if the surrounded bonus is actually only for rallying, or it also applies on the open field, but if you guys know, then make sure to drop it in the comments below. Alright, so far the first skill is actually quite OP. If I say so myself, it looks very strong, especially for rallying. Yeah, this guy is for sure gonna be rally meta, but for open field, I'm just not sure yet. So let's move to skill number 2, 𝒟𝒶𝒹𝓎 𝐹𝓊𝓈. Well, I hope I didn't butcher that pronunciation, but anyway, the cavalry units led by this commander gain 30% increased defense and also 5% cavalry damage bonus to all unit types, doesn't matter cavalry, archers, infantry, and 15% march speed bonus when outside of alliance territory. And this skill is actually quite nice for open field. Moving to skill number 3, Corpus Juris Civilis. God damn. Cav units led by this commander gain 20% increased health, again making him more tankier than he was before, so yeah, that's quite nice. And also, when attacking cities, flags, or alliance fortresses, then he reduces the target's normal attack damage by 10%, which is the white number you see on the screen while you're inside combat. Skill number 4, Restless Emperor. So this skill is actually quite similar to William's third skill. When their troops launches a normal attack while on the map, it has a 10% chance to deal additional direct damage to the target. Damage factor 80, multiply the number of marches surrounding the target, and up to 5 marches. So for example, if the target is surrounded by 5 marches, so 5 multiplied by 80, then it's going to be a 400 damage factor. And also, I keep forgetting, you do get attack bonus by 10%. So this skill is actually not that powerful compared to the previous skills, because it's only 10% attack bonus and a 10% chance to do direct damage factor by 400 if surrounded by 5 marches. So yeah, it's not that great, but if you do expertise this commander, then this skill is actually going to be enhanced in the expertise. So now moving to the expertise skill, the cav units led by this commander gain 15% increased attack and a 30% chance to do direct damage factor by 500. Because before it was 80, and now in the expertise skill, it's 100 multiply the number of troops surrounding the target up to 5 marches. And the cooldown of this skill is 5 seconds until you can do it again. So my conclusion is that these 2 last skills are actually only good for rallying and not for open field, because first, it's a low chance of doing this skill, and second, it has a 5-second cooldown. So yeah, it won't really benefit you on the open field. However, the first, second, and the third skill are actually very good. But in general, I wouldn't say that this commander is made for open field. I mean, the first and the second skills are great for open field, but the third one is like kind of meh, because you want to spend a bunch of gold hits to only get 20% cav health? I don't think so, because there are much more better commanders to have on open field. For example, Nevsky, Juan Prime, William, and the new cav commander, 𝒟𝒆𝒶𝒹𝒹𝓎, let's just call him HQ, and even Saladin all the way back from KVK2. These guys are much better investments for open field compared to Justinian the First. So yeah guys, so far that's my opinion on this guy. We'll just have to wait and see how good he will be inside the game after the testing, but for the moment I'm gonna give him a solid 8 out of 10.